Connecting to an SQL database using Python with the help of the pyodbc library is a common task for developers working with relational databases. Below is a step-by-step tutorial that explains how to set up a connection to an SQL database using pyodbc, along with code examples. Step 1. Install pyodbc. Before you begin, make sure you have the pyodbc library installed. You can install it using pip-bash pip install pyodbc. Step 2. Set up the database. Ensure that you have a SQL database to connect to. For this example, let's assume you are using Microsoft Server. You will need the following details: server name, database name, username, password. Step 3. Import pyodbc. Start your Python script by importing the pyodbc module. Python import pyodbc. Step 4. Create a connection string. The connection string will vary based on the database you are connecting to. Below is an example of a connection string for SQL Server. Python server: your server name, database, your database name, username, your username, password, your password. Connection string free driver odd driver 17 for SQL Server server database you would username pod password. Make sure to replace your server name, your database name, your username, and your password with your actual database credentials. Step 5. Connect to the database. Use the connection string to establish a connection to the database. Python tree connection pyodbc. Connect connection string. Print connection successful. Accept exception as a print connection failed. Print. Step 6. Create a cursor object. Was connected, you can create a cursor object that allows you to execute queries. Python cursor connection cursor. Step 7. Execute queries. You can execute queries using the cursor. Here's an example to fetch data from Audible. Python example: fetch data from Audible query. Select from your table name, replace with your table name, cursor, execute query. Fetch all results rows, cursor, fetch all. Iterate over the results for row in rows. Print row. Step 8. Insert data into the database. You can also insert data into the database. Here's an example. Python example: insert data into Audible. Insert query. Insert into your table name, column known, column to values. Replace with your table and column names data value. Cursor fast column q should cause should replace with your table and column names data value it or replace with your values. Cursor, execute, insert query. Data connection commit. Print data inserted successfully. Accept exception as a print connection failed. Print. Finally close the cursor and connection. If cursor close. If connection close. Print connection closed. Notes 1. click, sus, 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 Odd driver. Ensure that the odd driver you specify in the connection string is installed on your machine. You can check installed odd drivers using pyodbc drivers. Security. Avoid hard-coding sensitive information like passwords in your scripts. Consider using environment variables or configuration files. Error handling. Always include error handling when working with databases to manage exceptions gracefully. Database compatibility. This example focuses on SQL Server but can be adapted for other databases by changing the connection string and SQL syntax accordingly. This tutorial should help you get started with connecting to SQL databases using Python and pyodbc. Happy coding!